Foundation Cornerstone, Chapter 4, Giving to God. Let's talk about giving tithes. Tithes, as used in Malachi chapter 3 and verse number 10, the Hebrew lexicon is number 4643. Tithes means a tenth part. Simply stated, giving a tithe is giving back a tenth part of whatever God has prospered. This portion given back to God is for the spiritual blessing of the giver. These tithes are used to provide the spiritual and administrative needs of the church. Malachi chapter 3. Malachi chapter 3 and verse number 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. A person gives their portion with understanding that they are giving to God, and not to any man or organization. Though they may be giving it to an organization or ministry, their portion and their heart are giving to God. God will in turn bless the giver based on their heart of giving, and not necessarily the amount. Let's look in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 12. Mark, chapter 12, verses 41 through 44. And Jesus sat over against the treasury, and beheld how people cast money into the treasury, and many that were rich cast in much. And there came a poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto him his disciples, and saith unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living. Tithing dates back to before the law of Moses, as Abraham gave a tenth of the spoils of war to God by giving it to Melchizedek. Abraham understood that he was giving to God as he gave to Melchizedek. Let's read in Hebrews chapter 7. Hebrews chapter 7, verses 1 through 5. For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being interpreted King of righteousness, and after that also King of Salem, which is King of peace, without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, abideth a priest continually. Now consider how great this man was, unto whom even the patriarch Abraham gave a tenth of the spoils. And verily, they that are of the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood, hath a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law, that is, of their brethren, though they came out of the loins of Abraham. In the New Testament church, people still give as God has blessed them. The Apostle Paul established tithes and offerings to be collected at a certain day. In Corinth, he wanted the collection for the believers to be received prior to his coming. Let's look in 1 Corinthians chapter 16. 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verses 1 through 3. Now concerning the collection for the saints, as I have given order to the churches of Galatia, even so do ye. Upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by him in store, as God has prospered him, that there be no gatherings when I come. And when I come, whomsoever ye shall approve by your letters, them will I send to bring your liberality unto Jerusalem. 2 Corinthians chapter 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 5, and then we'll read verses 12 through 13. Therefore I thought it necessary to exhort the brethren that they would go before unto you, and make up beforehand your bounty, whereof ye have noticed before, that the same might be ready as a matter of bounty, and not as of covetousness. Verse 12. For the administration of this service not only supplieth the want of the saints, but is abundant also by many thanksgivings unto God. Whilst by the experiment of this ministration they glorify God for your professed subjection to the gospel of Christ, and for your liberal distribution unto them and unto all men. So when a person gives their tithes to God, they are seen and blessed by Him accordingly. Giving to God.